All right, good people. So let's try to get through these because we got less than 20 minutes, and then y'all gotta do your thing. Okay, so for this first one, for number 38, right? It says what may weigh 20 kilograms? A small car, a tablet, a heavy suitcase, or a watermelon. Okay, so a lot of these conversions, like I said, you have at the front of your paper. What's the first thing you got to do to solve this problem, good peoples? What y'all thinking? But I'm just saying, just say it just in basic terms. What's the first thing I need to do, just basically in this problem? In order to solve it, what should I do? That's not. I mean, you got to set up a proportion, but what I'm saying is, guys, do y'all know how much 20 kilograms weigh? You got to convert kilograms into pounds. Okay, because we don't know what 20 kilograms is. So, for instance, for this one, I would have done, and this is on the front of that sheet. It's 1 pound. Let's do a one, and then pound, and then it's equal, because I don't remember this one off the top of my head. So it's 4,536 tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 4,536 10,000s of a kilogram. Okay, then we're trying to figure out what's 20 kilograms. So that will go there. So just in terms of a proportion, you set this up just like this, you can get your answer. Okay, that's why I was trying to tell you guys that just in terms of proportions, it's no easier way for you to do this. It's about as easy as it's going to get. Okay, so I'm going to divide here. Excuse me, I'm going to cross multiply. So it's going to give me 20, right? And then to get my answer, I'm going to do 20 divided by, and one more time, that's 4,536 10,000s. Okay, so if I put that in my calculator, right? Because like I said, we dealing with some big decimals, so we don't have to. I'm not necessarily wanting y'all to do the arithmetic, and I don't care about that. It's more just understand how to set them up. So if I put that in my calculator, I would have gotten long decimal essentially, and it said to round to the nearest hundreds, right? 44 and 900ths essentially. So I would have gotten 44 and 900ths of a pound. Okay, now you gotta think, which one of these will weigh 44 pounds? A small car, a tablet, a heavy suitcase, or a watermelon? A heavy suitcase, okay? Typically, I know a lot of you guys travel. Your suitcase is over 50 pounds, you're gonna have to pay a surcharge. So 44 pounds, you pushing it. That would be basically described as a heavy suitcase. So for that one, that's pretty much all you had to do. Okay, let's try this next one. So for number 39, it says a recipe calls for 8 ounces of raisins. The raisins come in 100-gram packages. How many packages do you need to buy? Now, it's a couple of different ways you can actually solve for this one. But like I say, I like to focus on the good old reliable proportions because they never fail me. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is use my original conversion, which I have that written down, which would have been ounces and grams. So 1 ounce is equal to 28.4 grams. Okay. Now, if we're dealing with 100-gram packages, I would put this here. Y'all cannot tell me that that is hard. I did. This is no difference from what we did in all the rest of them. The only difference is these numbers have decimals. The fact that they have decimals doesn't change the fact that, like I said, if you use your original conversion, okay, whatever it is that you're trying to convert, you set them up correctly, y'all, it's the same thing. Okay, easy money. So if I cross multiply, that essentially would have been 100 divided by 28 and 4/10, which, like I said, you can use your calculator. So if I'm doing that, if I'm doing 100 divided by 28 and 4/10, that would have given me 3 and 5200ths. Okay, that would have given me 3 and 5200ths. What's up? Did you get the same thing or no? And then this is the thing. When it's saying how many packages you need to buy, we're going to say 4. Because you can't buy 3 and 5. You can't buy 3 and 5200ths of a package. So we're going to run that to 4. I got you. I think I got that one confused with another one. I got you. I got you. I got you. Okay. I'm gonna show you the one that I was thinking that you asked me. I thought I got the numbers mixed up. I'll show you a little later. Okay. All right. For this next one, a golf ball weighs about 45 and 9/10 of a gram. How many ounces would a dozen golf ball weighs? I think this was the one I was telling you to multiply. Okay, I got those backwards. Okay. So for number 40, you want to set up your original conversion, excuse me, which is 1 ounce is equal to 28.4 grams. Okay, and then I'm going to put 45.9 grams under here. Same thing, easy money, y'all. Original conversion, whatever it is in your proportion that you're finding, it's alike, line them up. Cross multiply. So that would have been 45 and 9/10 of a gram divided by 28 and 4/10 of a gram. Let's see what that is when we put those in. So if we got 45 and 9/10 of a gram, and I never let y'all use calculators. So I was like, oh, they about to kill it. They get to use calculators because y'all know we don't really use them much. That would have been 1 and 60. So it would have been 1.61 and then 6. And then we got so 1 and then it's going to keep going. Remember, if we round it to the nearest hundreds, that would have been 1 and 62 hundredths. Okay. Now, in the question, it says how many, and this was ounce, right? We're dealing with ounces. So, but in the question it says about how many ounces would a dozen golf ball weighs. So you would have taken that 1.62 and times it by 12. A dozen is 12. Okay, so we would have had 1.61 times 12. And which one was that one for? Okay, that should have been 19.44. And then that would have been ounces. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, good peoples. Let's try these last two. So for number 41, we got regulation volleyball. And I don't know why I just didn't say regular. Volleyball can weigh anywhere from 260 grams to 280 grams. In ounces, what is the least a volleyball can weigh? Okay, so once again for 41, and we pretty much used this same one for the last couple. Even this one, it's dealing with ounces and grams. So y'all should have gotten that conversion up to this point. Okay, which is 1 ounce is equal to 28.4 grams. Okay. And then it says, what is the least? Which of these numbers do I need to use? That would have been 260 divided by 28.4, which once we put that into our good old reliable calculator here, so let's do 260 divided by 28.4. That would have been 9.154. And like I said, we run to nearest hundreds, we only got to go to the thousands place, so that would have been 9.15 grams. All right, now I'm going to be honest. 43 was a beast. Of all of them, 43 was probably the most challenging. Now, I'm going to be honest. Those were pretty easy. And like I said, it pretty much used the same conversion from ounces to grams. Okay, now this one was a little bit more challenging. So it says, Lisa can run a mile in 7 minutes. At that rate of speed, how long would it take her to run 2 kilometers? Okay. Now, if you're looking at this problem, it's a couple things. It tells us what she runs a mile in terms, well, it tells us how many minutes it takes her to run a mile. Then it asks kilometers. What's the first thing you need to do in this problem, good people? You got to convert kilometers to miles. Before you can even figure out how long it would take, you got to convert kilometers to miles. So for this one, we should have did 1 mile is equal to 1.61 kilometers. Okay, if we're trying to figure out how long that would be in terms of miles, we're going to put 2 kilometers here. Okay, obviously, we're going to cross multiply. Then we're going to do 2 divided by 1.61. Okay, 2 divided by 1.61. And then that's going to give us 1.2422, blah, blah, blah. We're going to the nearest hundredths, which is here. So that would have been 1.24 miles. Okay, it's not our answer. I'm going to put this right here. So let's see. I'm going to finish this one right here. So the last part of this that we have to do is figure out what would that be in terms of her time. So if she got a 7-minute mile, so I'm going to say 7 minutes, 1 mile, I put MIL, okay, and then we found our distance, 1.24 miles, cross multiply here, so we got, set this down, we got 1.24 times 7, that would have given us 8.68. Okay, and we're dealing with minutes, right? 8.68 is 9 minutes, so we're gonna round that to what? 9 minutes. All right, so good people, do y'all see what I'm saying? Okay, couple of things. The biggest thing that when we first started the unit that I tried to express to you guys was, it's not all about finding your answer, it's about strategy. Okay, proportions, you don't have to solve these using proportions, but I advise you guys to try to solve these using proportions because it's consistent. Okay, put your conversion first, you line your numbers up correctly, it will work every single time. Versus, okay, you kind of multiplying here, you dividing here, I think I did this right, you don't have to think, you can set them up correctly. Okay, so make sure that when you're doing these, like if I was you, I would get in the habit, every single problem is the same. I started them off not with necessarily what the problem was, but I started them with the original conversions. Try to do that. It will make your life so much easier. Now, I will say, like, what was it? This problem, and it was one where we had to multiply. This problem was 2-step. So it asks you to go a step further. But for the most part, as long as you at least set up your conversions, you'll be good. Okay, y'all straight now? Okay, like I said, I'll try to upload this in a few minutes, but let's keep it going.